Okay, we've come to order. It's 24 minutes past 7. And I'll have all four members here. Dave Levesque is absent. So the first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes, February 21st. And I will,
You wanted me to show you that?
I have not read them.
Okay. Oh, I read them. Oh, good, thank you. Thank you, good, thank you very much.
At least I know I've been.
Yes, I remember saying that now.
He emailed me telling me that he had read the minutes and that to show him that at the next meeting, to remind him that he had read the minutes.
Read what it says up there.
It's from Nathaniel Dummer to Lisa. And it was dated sent February 27th, 2013 at 11:23 a.m. Lisa, I have read the 2:21 minutes, and to the best of my remembrance, they are correct. You will please remind me of this reply when at the next meeting I say what minute. On Tuesday, February 26, 2013, at 11:04 a.m., Lisa wrote, "Good morning, gentlemen," attached after 21 minutes for your review.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That was a month ago.
Well, she sent them out.
Right.
She sent them out. I read them off the computer and probably printed a copy. So,
This way we get them a week later,
yeah,
and then we forget everything.
yeah.
Everything. And before, we used to get them about 3 days before the meeting, they didn't have a chance to read them.
Either that or on the meeting night.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Too close.
Okay, we went all over the,
Yeah, I know, I read them. Well, Levesque is down, he was there at the last meeting, he must be down in the Caribbean now.
down, right.
I forget the island.
He was leaving last night. He was leaving yesterday.
Okay. So, we should feel sorry for him, right?
He's probably down the Caribbean, trying to get our meeting tonight.
Yeah.
To harass us when he comes home. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, do we have a motion to accept the minutes as printed?
So moved.
That's the minutes of March 21st, February 21st meeting.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Lisa has so kindly prepared a financial report, where we're at. As of the 20th of March, we have $1,100 in our account. And I'm going to propose that we buy an air conditioner and a printer.
Oh, did you get that email?
Hmm?
Did you get that email I sent you?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
all right.
I did,
Good.
I did. And we can either do one or both of them, if we can get them for, in the $700 range, because I don't think we're gonna spend $400 between now and July.
Oh, absolutely, right, absolutely not. You're right. We'd have to have a party to spend it.
And, right, so,
Party.
The AC for the office upstairs.
Yeah.
right, the AC for upstairs. What we found, was we can get a, 10,000 BTU, window,
Unit, removable unit, so we can put it in, have it during the hot season of the year and then remove it.
And the beauty of that is you're high enough off so that when you put it in the window, if you lose control of it,
what Lisa said to me this morning. They don't make those things big enough to, so, and she's absolutely right. So I will make up, when we get it.
We'll have to have some sides.
I'll
maybe.
Yeah,
make
the
up-
expansion.
I'll make up a framework that will fit,
In, right,
and then we will put this
in
in
a
the framework.
that's it.
So,
take a look at what they got in the council. Their air conditioners may be bigger, but they've got something that goes in the windows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good thought.
That may not be like what you're gonna do, but it might give you an idea, that's all.
yeah.
You probably want to make sure that it's not directly above the other air conditioner. People freak out, I don't know why, but because it already rains outside, the word that the AC, that dispels the water when enough condensation builds up, that if it drops on the air conditioner below, like for the Council of Aging,
Mm.
you want to make sure that it's not lined up that directly above that if possible. Some people get upset about that. They think it's ruining their air conditioner, but it doesn't.
No,
I don't think they'll lose
So
it.
to avoid a potential headache down the road, if you remember where they put theirs, I'm assuming they have a window unit as well.
at least one. I
They
guess.
have a,
So if
they
they
have
have
it,
theirs towards the left and maybe offsetting towards the right,
they have it,
water
if
will
you
trip
go,
up that
if
way.
you go in their room, they have it in the left hand on that wall,
In the left-hand
on
window,
the
right?
left-hand window,
Yep.
and then on the side facing south, they have it right next to where the partition is between the room and the office.
It's on the left-hand.
It's right there.
It's the left-hand window
Yeah.
Yep.
on both walls.
Well, so we could put it in the right-hand.
That'd be no problem.
But I have an air conditioner at my shop. I don't have any gutters. and the water comes
Yep, right on it.
right on it, drips right on it all the
Number of the
time.
elderly people I visit in their places that they live here in town, you know, they're on the higher unit level, and neighbor downstairs is all upset that the air conditioner's dripping water on their air conditioner and saying, it's ruining my air conditioner. Well, it's not, because it rains.
It's just
It
rain.
rains.
Right, it's
That's
rainwater.
what it
Sure.
is, so.
Right.
So, okay, next summer, I'll come help you, and we'll put your air conditioner either another window or set it over further to one side and just block up the other section so the neighbor downstairs won't be so upset.
Yeah.
Now the neighbor downstairs was just gonna put in a window box and have flowers because it's being watered.
Right.
No, I don't think there's any problem with us buying
No,
those.
no.
I don't think,
And Lisa already has an idea for printer she wants
Actually, the idea from Tom,
from Tom.
very nice.
Yeah, nice
So we scoped
laser,
one out.
all-in-one laser
Yeah,
color printer.
good quality one.
Uh,
yeah,
a brother unit, yeah.
Yeah.
it's $3.99.
I have the
Yep, that's pretty good.
paperwork upstairs, I printed it out from Staples. Very
Right.
nice. My question is the electrical, is there going to be any needed electrical for that AC? Because of
We will
being
find
an
out.
old building,
We
you
will
know?
find out if it has a problem. We'll have to get it wired in.
You know, it's just.
Just
fairly
wanted to
standard-
mention-
750 watts.
Yeah, it's a standard room conditioner, that's
Yeah.
all.
So, no, it's a 10,000
Yeah,
watt.
probably,
I mean BTU, I'm sorry.
it's 10,000 BTU will drop out, probably 750
Yeah.
or less considering the new ones. 'Cause I've got an 8,000 in my window.
Yeah, depending upon the circuitry, if it's the only thing that's up there,
That's
it's
why I
drawing
questioned it.
anything.
Because I blew a fuse.
Ooh.
Oh, with those heating units, yeah.
Mm.
That's all right.
That must have been exciting.
I didn't know where the fuse box was.
Well,
So Dawn showed me.
Okay,
Okay,
Okay, so, shall
this is
we,
all good.
shall we do that?
Yeah, is that, I think,
I don't think we have to.
I don't think we have to vote on it. I think you have the authority to make that decision yourself and direct Lisa to carry it out.
I would feel more comfortable.
Yeah, let's
If we
have
had
a
a
meet,
vote,
I would, if we.
you wanna do a vote? Fine.
yeah, let's put it, let's not hang it on his head.
Then it's not on our head.
It won't drip on ours either. Okay,
All right. I'll make a motion that the board authorize our admin assistant, Lisa Lazzi, to pursue the purchase of a room air conditioner for our office and a upgraded color laser printer for office purposes, based upon available funds in our expense budget.
second the motion.
Any further discussion?
was it gonna be the $700 a month or whatever
I-
maximum ceiling?
You know,
Up to
based,
1,100.
well, I don't think we need to spend that. I think we can do it for the 700, it's like 650 or 670, is something I think where to fall. Those are both, I mean, what she can do is,
Well, an 8,000 will handle 350 square feet.
yeah, I figured this was probably this is probably close to 400 up there. And this says it'll handle 500, so I figured a little overkill is better than not, because it probably gets hot up there.
Oh, yeah, well, what I mean is for the area that you have,
Right.
350, I think is the one I got for my living room and dining room is an 8,000 Frigidaire, and it's supposed to handle 350 square feet. I know they measure in square,
Okay.
they don't try to do cubic.
They don't have cubic,
The
right?
one that we got a price on for what, 269? Is that what it was?
It's either 269 or 299, one of those.
For 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will need it up there
Yeah,
because
it's a Frigidaire.
Frigidaire.
It's a Frigidaire.
Yeah, Frigidaire's a good one.
Yeah.
I got one. Gonna have to get a couple more.
Okay,
Replace some of the older ones.
No, I think your point is valid, though, Phil. I mean, we should say, I would amend the motion to say that you pursue that not to exceed $700.
Maybe 750, because if it, you just said what? 399 for the printer and two something?
269 or 299, so something
So
like that.
let's assume 300, so that's 700.
We'll buy it in New
Yeah.
Hampshire.
So taxes won't be an issue. Plus, we have the towns, if you need the tax exempt number for the town, you can use that.
Oh, well, yeah, we can use that. If we can use that, we can get a tax exempt purchase too.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Okay.
So stick with the 750?
Yeah, 750 is fine. And then if you
In
find
dollars,
something,
you're talking dollars.
yes.
Yeah.
And then if you have to come back, you can come back to us, but I don't think you will.
I wouldn't think
If
so.
anything, you could go less. You might find less. I just did a review for what I thought was suitable stuff. If we had to go out tonight and buy it, we could buy it.
Yep.
Because last year, the Frigidaire of mine, that's 8,000, was $212 or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds
I would just assume, okay, I would just assume get it now, and the reason, at least get the air conditioner now.
Right.
Because if we wait to put it on next year's budget, we're into July,
Right.
and we're already in the hot weather.
And one before that, and they're starting to say that we're gonna have a warm spring.
Is that right?
I heard that on the radio this evening.
Oh.
Yeah, and we may
Warmer
even
than
find
normal.
on that printer that my pricing was based on a Staples purchase. I do a lot of business with Staples.
Mhm.
And if you hit them correctly with a coupon,
Yes,
you can get a minimum of 10% off.
yes.
Sometimes as much as 15, which in our case would be $60. It might be as much as $70, so we might end up getting it for 3 1/4.
Yeah.
So we might enjoy some savings there, because we don't need it tomorrow, but we can
Right.
just shop it, so you can look for it. And then I get coupons, and you can look for them, and I'll give you a coupon if you have a coupon, and then you can use it whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, the motion is to instruct Lisa to pursue the purchase of this air conditioner and printer not to exceed $750. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay, the next item on the business is approval of Jenkins' decision, 15-01. Now, he has sent a new plan with it to us, because he's amending his print. And it's,
Keep going, Don, it's on his file. Mhm.
this is his modified print. He wants to enlarge his own bathroom. But I don't see how he's really enlarging his bathroom.
That's in his section of the house.
Okay, this was gonna be the pantry over here to the kitchen. And he's changed, he's put a wall here.
He's moved
taken
it
this
over.
wall out and moved the wall over here,
Yeah.
and he's moved this wall here over here. And-
Right.
And that is to line up with a beam or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a structural thing.
Structural thing, right?
Oh, okay. Well, in fact, it's space that we reviewed is slightly, very slightly smaller. 2.5 feet by, what did you say, 16 square feet in there? That's what it looks
Yeah,
like he's got.
16 square feet.
All right, so he's cutting it down by 16, and this doesn't look like he's cutting it.
Right, and he's cutting at 18 inches wide, yeah, for 8 feet. So he's cutting,
About 10 or 12 square feet there,
yeah,
so maybe 25 square feet less total.
right.
That's fine.
And he's blocking off a closet here with oh, he's putting in the 5-foot door.
Oh, that's fine.
That's,
Yeah, that was,
as far as I know, that's all.
yeah, there's no change there.
Okay, all right, so that's that. I was debating whether to ask him to create for us an as-built plan when he started.
We do.
You?
Well, not an as-built, we just say one that's approved by the, if there's any change with the, as a general condition, if there's any change with the plans he's given us
Mhm.
based upon his submission to the building inspector, that he brings it back to us.
Okay, case number 81211.
Mm,
Yeah, the reason,
yeah,
the reason we had discussion on this is though the case was not first reviewed by us until January and then again February of this year, he in fact submitted his application in December of last year. So I treated it as a submitted case from 12 as opposed to a submitted case in 13, even though we reviewed it in January and February.
Okay, all right, you dated 12/12/12.
Yeah, it's an interesting date. Right.
You
I
go
looked at it a
by-
couple of times.
For the year, you go by the fiscal year the town goes by, don't you?
Oh, I don't know. I thought the case nomenclature was by the calendar year.
I don't think so. Not in my memory. I think we did it according to the fiscal year that the town is on.
When are you asked to provide for the town report? January, which covers January through December, right?
yes.
I think the town report is done on a calendar year. And at least the last few years that I've been doing it.
Doesn't matter, as long as it's stable each
Right.
time.
Okay,
So do you want me to keep it as 1211 or?
yeah. keep
Okay.
it.
Okay.
All right, decision of the Raleigh zoning board of appeals on protective zoning bylaw upon petition of Ronald Jenkins, application dated 12/12/2012 for a special permit on property located 58 Pleasant Street, converted existing one-family residence into a two-family residence on an existing non-conforming lot. Public hearing was held at Raleigh Town Hall Annex Center School on January 17, 2013. Members acting on this case are Donald W. Thurston, Chairman, David Levesque, Member, Nathaniel Dunham, Member, Thomas W. Hygrid, Clerk. Pursuant to a public notice originally in the town common of a newspaper in general circulation in the town of Raleigh, published on the 3rd of January 2013, and on the 10th of January 2013, and by mail sent postage prepaid to all parties in interest, as defined in Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 11, and as such list of parties was certified by the town assessors in accordance therewith. And to the town clerk, the planning board, board of selectmen, conservation commission, board of health, building inspector, and by being posted in a conspicuous place in Raleigh Town Hall for not less than 14 days. The land is located in outlying district as shown on Assessors Map 24, Block 93. The deed is recorded in the Essex Registry of Deeds, Book 5, deed book 9589, page 600. The applicant is requesting special permit under section 6.3 of the Raleigh zoning bylaws, which states that a building in existence on May 1st, 1981 may be converted into one or more dwellings units that is originally contained, and that the board may issue a special permit only if the board determines that there will be no substantial change to the non-conforming nature of the structure. It will approve the application. In an effort to meet this criteria, the applicant has asked the board to consider its plans with regard to the current structure, where the intent is to a modification of an existing conforming use through a conversion to a two-family structure where the current lot lacks the required amount of land, 6,500 square feet. 65,000 square feet, thank you, Matt. The chairman opened a public hearing in due form and determined there was no conflict of interest by him or any other member. Preliminary case material. At the public hearing on the 17th of January 2013, approximately 7:45 p.m., the chairman read the application into the record. He also noted and read the zoning compliance determination from the Raleigh Building Inspector denying building permit submitted and directing the applicant to attempt to secure a special permit from the zoning board. The chairman then read a memo from the Board of Health indicating it saw no conflict with the septic system based on the plans that were submitted. The applicant, Ron Jenkins, was present at the hearing and stated the property was built in 1972. The chairman informed the applicant that due to the fact that only 4 acting members were present to act on the case, any actions this evening would require a unanimous vote as opposed to 4 of the 5 if all current members were present. Mr. Jenkins was given the option of not applying to the board at this meeting. After further discussion, the applicant agreed to continue with the application. The certified butters list was reviewed and accepted in the presence of a signed and certified permit license clearance form from the town of Raleigh. Was also submitted and accepted. No abutters were present at the hearing after an inquiry from the chairman. The board also received a copy of a plot plan, see attached plan dated 11/26/12, and rendering item A, and renovations to Jenkins's residence A2 of the existing lot showing the placement of the current single-family home on the site, and a hand-drawn item B plan showing the layout of the proposed apartment, second dwelling. The proposal involves converting an unfinished second-level portion of the garage into a one-bedroom apartment with kitchen facilities. There is currently one means of egress to the proposed living area, and the applicant plans to add a second form from the left side of the building. The proposed size of the apartment is less than 700 square feet, maximum allowed under the current zoning bylaw. The board noted that by its earlier decision, case 92-1, as see attached on the property, it granted the applicant existing owner the right to construct the current garage with a 15-foot setback, subject to conditions therein. The board reviewed the submitted material, and the chairman notes there is an absence of specifics on drawn plans regarding the actual square footage of the proposed new unit, that the board will need verification from the assessor's office regarding 1972 build date. Therefore, without the ability to conclude the hearing, the board voted unanimously to continue the hearing to February 21st, 2013. At a continued public hearing on February 21st, 2013, Member Cressy is present, and under Massachusetts open meeting law, an acting board member may miss one meeting on any case as long as he or she reviews the past case history. The chairman confirms that Mr. Cressy has done so, and he acknowledged he had. Mr. Cressy was then added as an acting member on the case. The applicant supplied the board with updated plans, item C, showing the precise dimensions of the proposed apartment, and also provided the board the town assessor records showing the build date is 11/1972. After requesting any other hearing testimony from other abutters or other interested parties, 2 of whom were present and 1 absent, but all in support of and a review of all the pertinent data was completed, the board determined that there was sufficient grounds to grant a special permit as requested. Based on the above, the board voted to direct the clerk to prepare a decision declaring the approval of a special permit as requested to cover the creation of the second living unit at 58 Pleasant Street, as proposed under section 6.3.1.3, for converting a single-family residence to a 2-family structure requiring board signatures at its March 21st, 2013 meeting. Board findings. The board, after conducting a thorough review of the application and proposed conversion of the available space so noted in submitted material, items A, A2, and C, previously noted herein, to create a second living unit to be built in the existing residential structure on the site, and considering the applicant's desire to maintain the character of the site and maintain the integrity of the structure, it finds the application and its current configuration to be consistent with the intent of section 6.3.1.3 of the Raleigh zoning bylaws, and agreed to issue a special permit as requested and shown on site plan provided in the original application and shown in the accompanying plot plan dated 12/12/12. Therefore, the board unanimously voted to approve a special permit as requested under section 6.3.1.3 to be granted subject to the following conditions. The final building plan showing the precise dimensions and location of the proposed construction must be approved by the building inspector. The applicant shall obtain and submit to the zoning board of appeals a letter from said inspector as proof of the final plan's approval. Any changes to the plan supplied with this application resulting from the above reviews and approval must be brought before the zoning board of appeals for review and approval prior to the filing of the plan in the registry of deeds. A final approved copy of the plans must be submitted to the fire department to determine if any additional proposed alarms are to code. Any subsequent change to the plan must be submitted to the zoning board of appeals with approval. 4, failure to comply to the provisions of this decision at any time shall be reasonable grounds for the building inspector to order operation of all construction at this location to cease.
What's these 3 dates?
Okay, the original was the 17th of January. I was unsure of which date goes there, the date that it gets voted on or the date that it gets signed?
Typically, it's the date of signature. Because we don't have, prior to today, we don't actually have an official document.
Right, but what threw me was the word voted.
Yeah.
You voted to approve it, but you're not signing it until tonight.
Right, internally, we vote to approve, and we note so in the decision, and then we actually sign. Because if we never sign off on the decision, it doesn't make a difference when we voted.
All right, so you need to remove those first 2 dates.
We can take that out. I found a typo.
Go do that now.
Page 2.
Page 2. Lisa.
Where's the limit?
What?
And we need no,
Page 2, first item. I had a typo. Chairman, first line, last word. Chairman should be the chairman.
what's that? Oh, yeah, the very top,
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
the very top line. The last word in the very top line.
Mhm.
That the only one?
Yeah, that's the only one. Did you-
Signature page, my name has one L.
One,
Oh,
excuse
One
me?
L, Philip, one L.
That's my
Bottom of the
Okay.
page, third page.
One,
Yes, please.
okay?
All right,
She can do that.
okay, all those in favor with the corrections?
So moved?
Second?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right, so she'll make those
Make the
corrections.
corrections, we'll sign those. Oh, we got another
You
memo
know, only
here.
one L in your first name, huh?
Yeah, that's my mistake, I gotta correct that. I sent it to her. On my files, I have all our names.
Oh, okay.
So I amend that page subject to whatever conditions are
Okay.
written, and I need to correct them. So good, thanks.
All right, in your packet tonight, we have, I don't want to take up any business till she gets back.
That's fine.
But we have a letter from Mr. Nicolas, and we have a copy of zoning board of appeals. Rules and regs.
Those are things I think she marked for correction. Or change.
I thought she had here a copy of the rules and regs, but this says comprehensive permit.
That's different.
Permit. Board of Appeals.
Application for zoning board of comprehensive.
She can tell us what she has.
Yeah. I thought it was rules and regs that she had.
She did talk to us
Oh,
about that.
no.
She did when we talked to her day to day. But I think she was talking about these comprehensive permit rules. Now that you speak of it, but she also talked, I thought about the rules and regs.
ZBA rules and regs booklet.
Yeah. She has it there on the agenda as such.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
Yeah, right. But it's not here. Maybe she's just gonna talk about what she wants to do.
Okay.
We'll wait for that.
Maybe she has it open. That's easy, like.
This way she can
Really
just.
quick, you can initial it.
Right. Well, that was quick. Can you imagine having to do this kind of corrections with typewriters?
Hey, Don,
Imagine.
Don,
Thanks.
both of these say
There's Baruch on those people. That's why they have multiple secretaries,
Yes.
multiple typists.
Yes. You get paid
Are they
one, you
both
get
in
to
this
choose two.
terminology or complements?
Okay, so we move to,
Okay, the corrections are,
we
are,
have a black pen.
I got it.
Already loaded. This is the copy this is the copy that we're going to sign, right?
Right. We now won't have new copies, and you have the master copy. Lisa, you're gonna have to file with the items that I mentioned as part of it. So, if there's any question in your mind what they are,
Mhm.
you can ask me, or I'll go over before you. You're not gonna do it until next week, right?
Right.
Okay. Judy Pickett met with us at one. Matt, need that?
What?
You need a pen, Matt?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have them.
Judy Pickett was very specific with us when she met with the board, oh my goodness, I would say 2 or 3 years ago now,
Oh,
maybe even longer, about documenting references to documents that we refer to, so that there was no question what document we were using as our reference point, as opposed to either making no references or being vague about the references so that it wasn't clear. So, item 1, item 2, item 3, with dates that
Never be
are
rich and
possible
famous.
documents.
because you can read my signature.
Purely from, yeah.
Okay. That's the
Judy
official
Pickett's the
copy.
town attorney,
Okay.
town council.
Yep.
Okay. All right, sign that.
We try to comply.
That's right.
Okay. Continued public hearing of Marion Way. There's the next item on the agenda. And on March 15th, Lisa got an email from Mr. DeCoulis stating, "I will be requesting a continuance of the Marion Way project at your next meeting and will send details on Wednesday, March 20th, 2013. Thank you, John DeCoulis." All right. So, he has sent the letter, and it is dear zoning board of appeals members. At a previous meeting of the Raleigh zoning board of appeals, you requested that we submit our plans for review to the Raleigh Conservation Commission. We have finished the stormwater computations for the Marion Way project and plan to submit a notice of intent to the Raleigh Conservation Commission next week. They will then request a technical review report. Upon receipt of this report, we will send copies to your office. Kindly continue the public hearing for this project to your April 18th, 2013 meeting. Now, the letter is a little different. He's saying they have completed the stormwater computations.
Right.
But it's always next week.
Okay.
Or next month, or next year.
All right, so, going a motion to accept this letter and continue this hearing to April 2013.
So moved.
Wait a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
How many years has this case been going on?
Close to 3 now. As of June, it'll be 3 years. 3 complete years
Be 3 years.
in June.
Constantly postponing it. Undoubtedly, in my own personal opinion, he's just waiting until the market turns around and then they can go.
Apparently the Boston market has turned around.
The what?
The Boston area, immediate area, Boston real estate report was out that past year, it's increased, what was it, 5% or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. Okay, the next item I have on the agenda tonight is just some discussion on our rules and regulations and comprehensive permit rules and regulations. And lastly, a modification that Lisa has come up with on our decision form on the last page.
Last page, what?
And I think, why don't we take a look at that first?
In the very back.
Very back of what?
Oh, okay. Yes, that's it.
We had some discussion. Lisa emailed me and emailed Tom. She had a question regarding the filing of a decision. Who files it and how do they file it and so forth and whatnot. And what is the process? And Tom gave his opinion and I gave my opinion. And
And you were unanimous between the three of you, right?
Just about.
Except this one small area.
I think I was a little more direct than Tom was. But her comment was, why don't we say so? And all we say is it has to be filed. And she thinks that we ought to put in there the process that they have to go through to file it.
You know, you like putting in all the data going into town clerk.
So Lise, what you have here on page 2 of this packet is what you're suggesting we include in that last page? Not all of the documentation.
No,
The
just the
additional
last.
documentation is just the justification
Right,
for this.
just for reference as to how I came up with
Okay.
that sheet. The wording and so on and so forth.
In this second paragraph,
Mhm.
after the 20-day appeal period has elapsed with no appeals, the applicant must bring the original written decision. He can't because the town clerk's got it. The original written decision will have been filed with the town clerk
By you.
by whoever on the board is doing it.
Right.
That's what's filed. So the applicant can bring it. he has to come to the town clerk in order to get the certified copy.
Yeah, that is right, Lisa.
Okay.
Because they don't have that
And,
copy.
Having done it a few thousand times, a few hundred
You
times.
misread what
I I
Okay.
misread the laws.
they must get a certified copy of the decision from the town clerk and take that to the registry of deeds.
Mhm.
Because when you take the original decision, you take it and file it with the town clerk.
Right, and they keep the original
Oh, yeah,
and give me a copy
yeah,
with the stamp and.
yeah.
Okay?
Mhm.
Then he has to come down and see her, and she will give him a copy of where she has said there's been no appeals or otherwise.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
Uh,
What do you think, in paragraph 1, the last line,
Which paragraph?
under recording instructions, the
Yeah.
first paragraph,
Yeah,
the last line, the last sentence, beginning with the word during that
Yeah.
time, no construction permits will be issued, no work may commence. That strikes me as
That's the law.
that's the law?
That's the law. Ken
Well-
doesn't go by it. Ken sometimes lets them.
Ken will sometimes issue a permit,
yeah,
after we tell them, if you do get a permit and you start your work prior to that time, that's, you're at 100% risk there. But is that something,
I don't think that's something we should tell people,
what?
that he might give them a permit.
No, I'm not suggesting we tell him that,
what you're
but
worried
he
about.
might.
Well, he
So,
might,
so do we put it in our directions that he won't?
yeah,
Is
but
that his call? Are we telling him what his call is, or?
that's his call,
It's his call, I think.
yeah.
Well, here it looks like we're usurping that authority by saying that it won't happen.
If he does give him a permit
Yeah,
and something go wrong,
yeah.
as we've talked to him informally, we tell him, hey, you can't start until after that 21-day period. But if you do, and it goes to court, you're gonna get hung up and you may have to undo it.
Right,
You're doing it at your own risk.
right.
But I think really that's up to them.
Yeah, I think it's up to him. I'm just wondering, should we include verbiage that says permits will not be issued? Because if I'm an applicant with no experience, and this is the first time I've applied for a permit, I'm gonna read this,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go, oh, I guess I'm not gonna get a permit.
Well, they're gonna need to know it. So it's probably a good thing, changing my mind here, there's probably a good thing to put it in there and tell them. Now, if the building inspector changes it, he's on his own.
Right.
Has this been an issue in the past?
Well, it comes up
Has
with
that
every.
been problems before?
Well, it's not problems, it's that anybody, you never know when an appeal might appear.
And typically, appeals don't appear the first day after it's filed at the town clerk. It often appears the next to last day, sometimes the last hour.
Sometimes the last day.
Yeah.
Sometimes the last day.
And, you know, so if people in their anxiousness, and some people have come in and we understand their desire to move forward with a project because of weather conditions, because of construction schedules that need to be met, you know, a given contractor. Well, if you don't get me in the beginning next Tuesday, I can't get in for another month. Well, yeah, but my permit's not actually gonna be good until 17 days. What can I tell you? You either get me now or you don't. So come in and dig the hole. And as Nat says, all we can do is advise, if an appeal occurs, you need to be aware that the work will stop. And if you lose, you may have to have it undone, like it didn't happen.
That'll be a court case.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the court cases are rarely quickly moved through the system.
Right.
They usually take 12 to 18 months to pass through the system. So it's, you know, I mean, it's,
We had a case where we granted a permit, and neighbor appealed it. And a year later, they withdrew it came up for court, and she had to come up with money. She didn't have it. So she withdrew. So then the applicant could go forward, but he was held up for a year. It was a year, it took a year. And people can do that. Hold people up.
They can file pro se without an attorney.
And, I don't know how to word that, because I don't want to put it in there that, you know, leave it up to the discretion of the building inspector. That means they could go and say, oh, hey, you know, can I build it now? And now he's on the hook for saying no. You know,
well, his permit authorizes actual construction to begin. I mean, he doesn't have to, he determines, in fact, when an applicant act upon the conditions that our special permit grants, that any zoning board grants. We're giving him a special permit, just like we're doing with Mr. Jenkins. We've granted him the right to make the conversion that he has proposed in the town. The building inspector, independently and entirely of our giving Mr. Jenkins the right to do that, issues him the right to actually build it as he's told us was going to do it. And the building inspector is the only one who can make that call. And if he doesn't issue a permit now, he may not issue a permit for 3 months if Mr. Jenkins doesn't give him sufficient information to satisfy his sense that he's building a code or whatever, right?
that's right.
But he can also make the judgment to issue that permit anytime he so chooses. If in my mind, I don't see it here, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I think I would rather we say here, during that time, no construction permits will be issued. I'd like to see a reference to zoning law that says that. Because I'd rather, if our decision is going to make that statement, I'd like it not to be, well, you don't have the authority to do
It'll
that.
be in chapter 48.
It'll be, maybe you can find that, Lise?
It'll be in chapter
I'll look.
48.
I didn't see it in what you have here,
I do see reference to what we all know on the last page,
Mhm.
where it says the person exercising rights under a duly appealed special permit. Now, that's an appealed special permit, does so at risk that a court will reverse the permit and that any construction performed under the permit may be ordered undone. That's, we all know that.
Mhm.
And that's basically what we tell people under an appeal permit. But what we're talking about is in this appeal process period, is there anything written in 40A that says no building permits will be issued in that window specifically? You doubt it?
I doubt if it actually says
Says
that.
so? Okay.
I will check.
Okay.
I will
I doubt if they will,
Okay.
because
That's at the discretion of the building inspector. Is that what you're saying?
I would, well, I mean, if there's an appeal period, you don't get to go to, the decision does not go into effect until it's filed in Salem.
Granted.
So he doesn't have any decision until after, he cannot file it in court, in the registry of deeds. It won't go into effect until it's filed at the registry.
Okay, I
Right.
accept your point.
That's
valid.
the kicker right there.
Yep.
But the process is, you obtain a certified copy from the town clerk
Mm-hmm.
after the 20-day period.
Mm-hmm.
You take that to the registry of deeds
Mm-hmm.
and you record it
Mm-hmm.
with your deed,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Now, the registry of deeds is historically, 2 to 3 months
Behind.
All right, they may be 6 months behind now, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how far behind they are. Maybe they're all caught up, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you go down and you register it. And they will give you a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
You make sure you get a receipt. You have to ask for it, I don't know. But you get a receipt. You get that receipt and you bring that back to the building inspector. And now that is proof that it is registered and our decision is now in effect.
Okay, that's fine.
We may send the building inspector a copy of our decision,
Yeah.
But that doesn't do anything for it.
but he really can't act on that decision until he gets a certified copy,
Right, okay.
until it is.
Which is what you're saying.
Right.
Which is.
That's what you,
and-
We send him a copy at that time.
right.
And if, like in a previous case, the last 6 months,
Mhm.
he disagreed, gives him time to file during the appeal period,
Mhm. Right.
which he didn't, but he went to the selectmen to get permission,
Oh, yeah, on that particular case.
remember?
Yeah. Okay, all right.
We can take the sting out of it if you want to put, during that time, no construction permits may be issued,
Yeah,
because she's got no work may commence.
yeah, yeah.
Like that.
During the time, no
you
construction permits should be issued. Not necessarily will be issued, will not be, because you can't tell what the building inspector might do. But, well, he can't, because it's not in effect yet.
Yeah, no, that's,
I know I know we have worked with a couple of people in the past, and they've been up against
Right.
a time frame.
Yep.
And we have spoken to Ken and said, this is good, this is it, and so forth and whatever.
Right.
But they understood that if there was an appeal,
Mm-hmm.
they would have to,
Right. They run the risk of this
they
here.
run the risk.
Yep.
All right, so we leave it as it is then?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, paragraph
When you
one.
say leave it as it is, we're not making a decision on appeal notice that's proposed here? Or you talk about?
No, leave this-
sentence-
leave the
sentence
correction.
As it is.
Need,
Okay.
Well, look, Don, why shouldn't we say in there, 20-day appeal period, the written decision is filed with the, maybe appealed during that time, filed town clerk. We might just as well say there that the decision does not go into effect until it is recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
You could. Because your clarification of that is what
Yeah.
makes it a live decision, technically speaking.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. All right.
We don't have to say permits will not be issued, no work may commence.
Because I was interpreting our
Yeah, We-
signature as making a live decision,
right.
and the appeal process simply existing, after which there's no appeal, it then simply gets recorded.
But
As
it-
opposed to the fact where you're saying, well, no, it's not even our decision, it's not even our signatures that make it live, it's not it's the recording that actually
Right.
makes it live.
It's the recording in the Registry of Deeds. It goes into effect at that time.
Yeah, okay.
And if it's not recorded within 2 years, that decision is dead.
In fact, if,
Right.
If it is-
It's null and void, right?
It's no, in fact, we've had it.
That happened.
We've had that happen where somebody had filed it 4 years later. They decided they wanted to, they got the decision and,
Yeah, it went into effect.
In conversation with Katrina O'Leary recently regarding a former decision that we did, an applicant neglected to file. And it was
it was a mess.
it was a mess, and it was a significant mistake.
well,
It was just an oversight, it never got done, but it.
take the LaBelle case up here. When LaBelle wanted to build that steel building, and it was an appeal was filed by the gentleman that lived across the street,
Yes.
who became one of our selectmen.
Yes.
But anyway, he filed the appeal,
Right.
and it hung on for a while. It finally did. We finally finished, it got dropped, and we went ahead with the decision, and we made it. And we made a decision, filed with the town clerk. But the applicant never picked up the certified copy from the town clerk. And the applicant, the guy across the street that had filed the appeal,
Pointed it out.
he said, hey, this isn't in effect yet.
Right.
So he went up to town clerk, he got the certified copy, he took it to registry, and he filed it.
It was to his advantage to do that?
Yeah, and it came within the 2-year period.
Mm-hmm.
But the applicant never bothered to pick it up. Never bothered to do anything.
Was that decision not to the advantage of the applicant?
No, the applicant got what he wanted,
Yeah.
but he was told to put in 3 rows not lined up, but 3 rows of
Buffer trees,
evergreen buffers.
Yeah, yeah.
And what he did was he went into the woods and he cut off trees,
Bunch of pine trees
Pine
stuck in the
trees.
ground.
just cut, and he just stuck them in the ground. Well, you didn't notice it. You said, oh yeah, they're
Well
right
done.
there. But they all died.
Yeah, right. Like in one season.
So he
Okay.
complied, yes.
Okay. All right, so
Okay.
how have we reworded this, uh, first paragraph? Upon receipt of this decision in the mail, you must wait an additional 21 days before you can record the decision for the Essex South Registry of Deeds because of the 20-day appeal process. The timestamp from the town clerk's office on your decision begins the 20-day appeal process. Zoning decisions may be appealed during the 20-day period after the date the written decision is filed with the Raleigh Town Clerk, period. Okay?
Well, if there is no appeal, the certified copy from the town clerk be given to the applicant, and the applicant can get it. And he will take it down to the registry and file it.
Upon receipt of this decision, you must wait an additional 21 days before you can obtain a certified copy of the decision from the town clerk.
Right. And it's just fairly simple after that, is the decision will not go into effect until it is filed at the Registry of Deeds. Until the certified copy is filed at the Registry of Deeds.
Okay, did you get what I said?
Mhm.
Are you confused now?
A little.
Okay,
No, this is good though. This is good.
okay. All right, read that first sentence back to us.
Which sentence?
The first sentence,
Of what paragraph?
first paragraph.
Upon receipt of this decision in the mail, you must wait an additional 21 days before you can record the decision with the Essex Southern District Registry of Deeds because of the 20-day appeal process.
That's not what I said.
First sentence.
Read what you had next.
We are rewording it.
Right.
Rewording the first sentence.
Oh, go ahead.
I was rewording that first sentence.
I thought you were just reading it.
Upon receipt of this decision in the mail, you must wait an additional 21 days before you can obtain a certified copy of the decision
And there's a period after that, right?
I think we need to put a period on it.
And you're striking out the remainder of the original first sentence.
Before you can record the decision
Right, yeah, that sounds.
with the registry, you've got to put down who's going to be filed with.
Wait a minute. Upon receipt of this decision in the mail, you must wait an additional 21 days before you can obtain a certified copy of the decision from the town clerk,
Okay.
period. The timestamp from the town clerk's office on your decision begins the 20-day appeal period. Zoning decisions may be appealed during the 20-day period after the date the written decision is filed with the town clerk. During that time, no construction permits may be issued and no work may be done. Okay? Second paragraph. After the 20-day appeal period has lapsed with no appeals, the applicant must bring the original written decision to the Raleigh Town Clerk.
It's, you've already covered part of that up above.
Right.
So
Okay.
you gotta separate it.
Must take the certified copy.
Right.
To obtain a certified copy of the decision. Indicating that there have been no appeals.
After the 20-day appeal period.
Maybe you ought to leave out this at the very beginning. On receipt of this decision in the mail, must wait an additional 21 days before you can obtain a certified copy of the decision from the town clerk. And say that the timestamp and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm with you then. Go ahead.
And then, in the next paragraph, it says, after the 20-day appeal period has lapsed with no appeals, the applicant must bring the original, no, he won't bring the original written decision.
Certified copy.
He'll
The certified-
bring a certified copy of the decision. Wait a minute, to the Raleigh Town Clerk's office, no. After the 20-day appeal period has lapsed with no appeals, the applicant must bring the certified copy of the decision from the town clerk's office to the Registry of Deeds to be filed.
Does he in fact does the applicant get a separate document stating there were no appeals?
He gets a copy of, yes, the document, if he has, Tom used to put it on the last page.
Okay, it says
Tom
what we
used
do.
to add that in there on the last page
Yep.
with all the wording there.
Yep,
And all Susan had to do was sign it, date it, and stamp it,
that's what we do.
the original.
Yeah.
And then she would make a copy
Yep,
of that decision with, or a copy of that piece of paper,
right.
along with a copy of the decision. And it then could be filed at the Registry of Deeds.
Yep. Okay, then in the second paragraph, after the 20-day period has lapsed with no appeals, the applicant must take a certified copy indicating there have been no appeals to the Registry of Deeds.
And to be filed. And we tell them to get a receipt to bring back to the building inspector.
Yeah, the applicant is responsible for recording the decision. It will not be done by the Raleigh Zoning Board of Appeals or the Raleigh Town Clerk. The fee for it, that's fine. Recorded decision shall be paid by the applicant, that's fine. After the decision and the certificate, there's not a separate, after the decision has been recorded, the applicant must bring the recording receipt back to the Raleigh Town Clerk.
No,
He doesn't have to,
That's
does
the
he?
building inspector.
building
To
inspector.
the building inspector, just to the building inspector, right?
So
Yeah.
the town clerk doesn't need to know that it was registered?
No,
Um,
well, I don't know. But you wouldn't bring it back There's nothing in state law that says to do that under state law. Never used to anyway.
How does she know then, that it's been registered, or does she even need to know?
She doesn't probably need to know. I don't see that the town clerk serves as a record keeper for the recording of the decision from us. It's up to the registry of deeds to serve as the point of record for the decision with them, and then it's up to the applicant to take that decision record proof to anybody who needs to know it, and ostensibly the building inspector should ask for that.
Either that or the building inspector waits until he gets a copy of it from the registry.
Well, if because of the delays at the registry,
Yeah.
I should think a copy of a certified copy with a receipt
Yeah,
from the registry is good for a
Yeah.
building inspector, right?
sure.
Yeah.
State law will specify it. But not the receipt business. State law is written like the guys are sitting there at the registry waiting for you to come in and give them something to do.
Nat, you know in the lapse date, this is really vague, and maybe it's the way the
Where?
state law is.
Where?
Under the paragraph that talks about lapse
Okay.
date. Any special permit shall lapse within a period of 2 years from the date the permit was granted, if not made substantial use of in accordance with section 78341. Now, question is what in,
It shouldn't be within the period. A special permit shall lapse after the period of 2 years.
The
that's
bylaw-
correct.
Yeah, but the bylaw says within.
Well, look at state law. Chapter 48 will say that. I believe Chapter 48 will say that. In fact, the Chapter 48 may say 1 year, but the town has extended it to 2 years. That's the way it was.
But do we have the
Yeah, but
wording
word-
within?
Word lapse within.
It is,
That's meaning, it could lapse in a year,
yeah,
Right, and that's wrong.
and that's wrong.
yeah. It is gonna, within a year, within a period, any special permit shall lapse after 2 years' time. That's what the bylaw says anyway. If it hasn't been made substantial use of.
Well, my question is, what is substantial use of?
That was,
Is that state law?
mainly your question.
That's an interpretation.
That was my question.
That was really
That's
a
an
question.
interpretation.
Right. That is the state law that vague? Do we copy the state law on that, or is that our
I know.
verbiage?
Chapter 48 may have changed. I haven't read Chapter 48 for probably 10 years.
Because that you could argue, it seems to me, in the case of the LaBelle property, that if he did nothing, never constructed the structure, but planted those trees.
He already had the structure.
No, I know that, but I'm saying theoretically, where's that definition of substantial use begin and end? And you
It
know,
starts at the end of 2 years, then you can look at it and see if he's made use of it.
well, I just think it's probably not worth trying to debate, because I think it's, where do you draw the line? Is any use of it? We just gave Mr. Jenkins the right to convert his apartment.
Right.
Okay, let's say it's March. Let's say in April he falls and breaks his leg and he's disabled, so he can't do it. Okay, he still has a live permit, duly issued and approved and registered, and his family's consumed with his care, and
He comes in.
a year and a half from now, his wife says, wow, we still can't do this, but we might be able to do it next year, but this is gonna die in a month. Let's go ahead and put in the front stair that we were gonna put in to go upstairs. And that'll be some use of the permit, and that'll keep the permit alive. Does it keep it alive indefinitely, or does it keep it alive for another 2-year period?
I can
I would
give,
say indefinitely.
I can give you an example of uptown. Before they made this construction in the triangle, there was a bank building there,
Mm-hmm,
which was was torn down,
mm-hmm,
but there was a bank building. And the Todds owned that building.
okay.
They leased it to the
To the bank?
bank.
Yeah.
And there was a space, probably 10 foot, between there and the main building. They wanted to connect the two together.
Mm-hmm,
We gave them the permit to connect the two together.
mm-hmm,
And they hadn't done a damn thing.
mm-hmm.
So it was coming close to the 2-year time,
Mm-hmm.
and they put in the foundation, and then they capped it over and sat back and did nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
And we said that they had made use of it.
Okay.
Remember that, Tom?
Well, under that definition of use, you would almost accept that any element of a permit, of a process that's been granted in a decision would suffice to meet use. But this says substantial use. And to
That's
me, substantial use
All depends.
is probably more than a majority of the work that was contemplated. Could be 51%.
Yeah, if you put it as a percentage.
But
It could be less,
but-
could be less. It all depends who makes the decision.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so loose and vague. It
Yeah.
just I think this is the
Well,
kind
it's
of
just
thing
like-
that we should have drawn maybe in
It's
the
just like,
zoning review board or something.
all right, take a look at when we make, when somebody wants to do something, and the law says, yes, you can if you make substantial use of it.
No, I know.
If you make they use substantial all the time, and it's a case of interpretation.
Yeah, no,
Who's
I
going to
understand.
interpret it?
I understand. I mean, and I think in the granting of a special permit by any authority, the ability to have that discretionary room is valuable because it allows you to address a situation where you need the capability to explore a variety of perspectives in order to get somewhere.
What have you got there? Is that the bylaw or is that chapter 48?
No, this is the bylaw. This is our bylaw.
Ah, jeez, if I brought my briefcase tonight, I would have had the
Well, that's
chapter
okay.
48.
We can discuss it at a further
The
point.
chapter
It is
48 that I have is old, and they may have changed it, who knows?
Maybe, yeah, Lisa, just make a note to yourself. See what you can dig up under lapse date. See if there's any more specific detail. I mean, it talks about section 7834, and we cite it, so I'd be curious to see in chapter 48.
Okay.
This even says in our own bylaw, so I'm just curious to see what our own bylaw says. Go ahead, I don't mean to delay.
No, I don't remember why the gentleman filed that decision in the LaBelle case.
Well, to put it into effect. No, he wanted to put it into effect.
It would have been,
It was going to be sold.
it was gonna be sold.
He wanted that buffer zone put in like it was supposed to be put in. And if if it was never filed, it wouldn't be in effect.
Right.
And it was going to be sold. The
Right.
guy was going to LaBelle was going to sell it to
Right.
somebody.
Right.
So he filed it in Salem, which put it into effect.
Yes, that makes sense. Now. it
And
makes
then
sense.
the guy has got to,
Yeah.
either he or the new guy coming in have got to maintain that
Right.
buffer,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's all.
Yeah.
So I question whether he would have been better off not to have filed it and have it lapse. And it never was filed, so now that building was illegal, and he could get
Well,
it
that-
torn down.
You're right, that was,
You're right.
that would, could have been game plan two,
Yep,
Right,
is just be quiet
right,
and then turn around and say, you have an illegal building here.
right.
And, you know, and he'd have to assume to go through the process, but he would have an illegal building.
but by that time, it would have already been sold.
Yeah, but now it gets even messier because
Yeah.
you get, now you got
Yeah.
a property being conveyed, you know, to a seller that perhaps, to a buyer who's been misrepresented by the rights, about the rights of that property by the seller.
Right.
And you got all kinds of messes going on. No, as a footnote, Lisa, you are right, our current bylaw actually does say we need to correct this in the zoning review committee. It says, this shall lapse within a period of 2 years. It's grammatically poorly written.
Yes, because if you look at other,
We need
Bylaws,
to,
it's
those
there.
are little wording things.
Right, right.
it's not within.
Hopefully Katrina O'Leary is listening.
Because if it is
Because she
within,
will catch it.
within would be, in a week, you could, or a year,
Right,
or 6 months.
Right.
right, no, that's wording that needs to be clarified. Okay.
Okay. So where we're at?
But when we first started out, we had chapter 48, and then the legislature did a major revision, and they came up with chapter 808, and we worked with chapter 808 for a few years while they diddled, and then when they got it to where they wanted to, they renamed it chapter 48.
I would suggest that, at least, do we have other material that you want us to look at tonight? Because I was gonna suggest that what we do is, I think, my sense is that I think we have banged out what we think we want to change here.
Right.
But rather than trying to come up with exact wording tonight from a timing.
Right,
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest that
Mm.
Lisa take her notes
Mhm.
and redo it.
She and I can bang it back and forth, and then we can address it at the next meeting.
Absolutely.
We can send it back and forth.
Okay, okay, good.
Good.
All right.
You're brilliant.
I had asked you, research, that, to see if we could go over our rules and regs.
Right, and
And what,
we were just gonna discuss it, so I have,
and what I have here is,
this is the comprehensive permit rules. I had asked you last week if I could just retype and reformat. So I,
okay, that's what you did.
That's what she's brought in. You haven't done it, have you?
yes, I have.
Oh, this is it, this is it.
Okay,
The first part is, actually, the first part should be the original,
Oh, okay,
if I
okay.
set up your packet
It
correctly.
says original, well,
And then underneath that will be the,
we've already.
Will be the new one?
everything Anyway,
right,
this the one that says is written up here, original.
Oh, I
on
got
the
you.
website?
yes, that's the one that's on the website.
Oh, I see. You're very clear. Absolutely.
Okay, that's not the one you read.
No, that's the one that's on the website. And then what I did was, I just retyped. I didn't change any wording. I just retyped, and just doodled a little bit with the format, you know, extended the page a little bit. But I didn't change any wording, I just retyped it. Because of the way I had asked Dawn about it last week, I was perusing the website, and I came across the permit rules, and it just looked very old to me when I was,
No, I've gone into that website and I haven't been able to find anything.
really.
Oh, it's there. All this stuff is there.
Yeah, that's what I'm told, but I can't find how you get to it.
Oh, you gotta go under, if you go under, I think we're under general government. If you go under general government, you'll
Okay.
get a drop down, you'll get a menu of all the departments in town.
Yeah,
And then the zoning board should appear there. And when you click on the zoning board,
okay.
it'll take us to our page. And
Yeah.
it's, we now have the application materials on the page. Again, courtesy of Katrina's work last year. There's a lot of stuff. All these rules and regs are there.
Actually,
Decisions are there, I think.
the ZBA rules and
Yes.
regs are not on the website.
Oh, maybe she didn't get to it.
That-
But there's, all this stuff is on there.
Yeah, there is quite a bit on the website.
Definition.
Can't find it.
Okay. No, that looks good. Now I understand. I'm looking at it and saying, why have I got two copies of it?
I wanted to show you the before and after.
I told you I'd forget. So,
So have you changed it on the website?
No, but
Oh.
I will be. I will be doing a few things on the website. They're going to give me permission to put things on the website. So if this gets okay, I'm gonna put a nice fresh copy of the rules, the permit rules on the website.
Okay, now this is for comprehensive permit,
Right.
not a comprehensive review.
No, it's comprehensive
Comprehensive permit.
permit rules.
Yeah. Those are in the, those are in the harmony. When first came out, we had to have the public hearing within 30 days of the date as the guy put the application in.
still do.
And still do, yeah.
Still do.
You had to have it, whether you had everything there or not. You might not have had anything to work with, but you've got to get that ad in to the paper and open that public hearing within 30 days. And then you keep telling him all the stuff he's got to bring in and do that he hasn't done.
I like it. Just, I think we should just
I
suggest,
want you to take a look at section 3.2. Application shall be accompanied by a two-part filing fee.
Which one are you looking at? Or retype?
Yeah, it's easy to read.
Okay. 3.2,
The application shall be accompanied by a two-part filing fee consisting of a fixed amount of $1,000 plus a variable
wait a
amount.
minute, where's 3.2?
It's on page 3.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The application,
Shall be accompanied by a two-part filing fee consisting of a fixed amount of $1,000 plus a variable amount based upon the number of proposed housing units as follows. For limited dividend organizations, $50 per unit. For nonprofit organizations, $25 per unit. And for public agencies and local, no per unit fee. There should be no filing fee, fixed or variable parts for any project proposed as a local initiative pursuant to 760 CMR 45. I'm just wondering if those fees are up to date.
cool, that's a fair question. Do we have the ability to change those fees on our own, if we find they're not up to date?
You have to hold a public hearing on it.
That's what I thought.
or you've got to go through the, there are no fire fee. You may have to go through all the CMRs and all that stuff.
This is, you just mimicked what we have.
Now, what is the state law for that? Is that a chapter 40B?
We have to be under 40B.
40B, not 40, yeah.
We have to work that, that's worth attempting to explore, you think, Don? Those are the fees that you recollect have been, have they ever been changed? Have you ever remembered them being
That's
different?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what the coolest gave us. Coolest gave us $1,000 plus
$50 per
I don't remember now, it was 25,
Well,
or
in
it was
the,
50.
I have a version here also that says it was updated 2005, and the fees are the same back in 2005 as well.
Yeah, would there be any state adjustment that would supersede our fees, or would the fees only be changed by us locally?
I mean, the planning board, you can't even walk into the planning board without a check for $1,000.
Yeah, but the planning board, that may be, but they have no money at all right now. I don't know what they're doing for fees.
You mean for an ordinary guy going in?
Can't be that expensive, can it?
They waive it, I'm sure they waive it.
Well, they incur a lot of fees.
Which they never charge.
For which they never charge.
Yeah.
They incur a lot of engineering expenses that we don't incur. Because they have to do site plans, and
Oh, yeah.
that involves a lot more work.
Well, we're supposedly supposed to be doing site plans now.
Well, we have this up there now, so I don't see why we can't. This is on the site now. She took it from the site. Well, she just reformatted it. I don't see any reason why we can't simply say, okay, this is a clearer way to present the data we have,
Right.
and then go ahead and we can explore this fee issue if you think we should do that.
Yeah.
Don't we
I
have
think
to
we should.
have these available with the town clerk? Somebody goes into the town clerk office?
I don't know if we have to by law, but now that it's on site, you can, I know that we refer people on site. If you want an application, they don't have to come to her, she doesn't have to, you can go right online.
Mm.
I know Judy Pickett said to me one day, she says, you know, you don't have, you don't have any rules and regs for comprehensive permit. I said, yes, we do. She says, no, you don't. There's no record of it anywhere. I says, well, we do. And,
Just send her the link.
I think she finally found it.
Yeah, they're all up there. They're all up there, because I've gone and looked at them. I mean, I looked at it there, I haven't actually, you know.
I've seen a lot,
This
I
was some
just,
time ago.
I have not found the ZBA rules and regs on the website,
That may not be, you could be right.
but everything else I've,
How big, how large, because that's a bit of a process, you gotta, what are the ZBA rules and regs, how many pages?
oh, just this.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah, so that can be scanned.
I have just quite a few versions over the years.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you have the most current, right? That's
Yes,
what you have there?
yes.
And you want to do that, or you've already
Yes.
reformatted?
I want to do it. I mean, it's in the process,
Okay, fine,
you know.
good,
Okay, you're gonna redo that like you've done this?
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
and make it more easy to read?
Yes,
Okay.
that's,
then
this
we
is
can-
gonna take a
Then we
while.
can update it.
Right.
Then we can update it.
Really
That's good.
looks familiar.
Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Dummer, I'm going to ask you, do
yes.
you want it back?
No, I don't. But we have them available.
Looks like an old friend of yours.
We had them available at work and they weren't being used, and so I walked home.
There's a lot of interesting things in there.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And that
Oh,
goes
yeah.
back quite a few years.
Yeah, I was the clerk for 29 years, so I chairman a couple of times. Oh, yeah, my original stuff.
What's the date on some of that, Nat?
Where's the original bylaw?
Something 1940.
The original bylaw is printed on a 5x8 sheet of paper, one side only. I don't know that I got it in here or not, but I know I got
I
it
used to
at
have
home.
it.
I used to have it at home.
A copy, I presume.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Don't have the original. Oh yeah, rules and regulations, and this was, we must have dated the damn thing. Darn thing, excuse me.
What's in it? Go to the last page.
Yeah, maybe.
It was done in 1897.
No, this is probably one that Tom did over. Tom must have done this one over. Yeah, I'll bet you Tom did that.
Why would you have done that?
Well, not have rewritten it. Heck, it's 6 pages long. I wasn't writing any rules and regulations 6 long.
That was clerk
Yeah,
when I came on the board. And,
Jeez. You know, it's just to think non-electronic
Yeah.
is hard.
right.
I mean, you know, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not that
Section
old, but
D.
when I was in college 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Remember mimeograph?
Yes,
oh yeah.
it's the only way you can make
How
copies,
about,
lots of copies.
But it's
we were
electronic.
making copies using the one that was a wet one, that where you took a piece of paper that had a carbon backing on it,
Yes.
where you typed on it, and
Yes.
then
Yes.
you ran it through a wet
mimeograph
process.
machine.
No, a wet
Oh,
process.
what? Oh.
And it came out purple lines, and then finally they came with the other colors.
This is
Yeah, this says
copies.
February 25th, 1988.
Jesus.
Isn't that amazing?
These regulations effective July 21st, 1965.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that looks like the purple ink.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But a fee of $30, check or money order,
Yep.
be payable to the town of Rowley.
Right.
Cash
And-
is not acceptable.
And we gave them,
Still
and
no
at
good.
first, we gave them their money. The money we did not spend, we gave it back to
They
them.
give it back to them. It didn't keep
We
it in
didn't
the
spend it
coffers.
all, gave it back to them.
Okay, all right, okay, clerk, that's 9. Why don't,
Four appeals at $30.
So we're gonna have Lisa continue with this reformatting
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right, I
process
think that's a good idea.
of,
Okay,
yeah, anything that we can do
Hey,
that can assist
that look like your
an
signature,
applicant
Don?
is great.
yep.
1976?
So you came up with a decision in 1970
Oh, yeah.
that has my signature on it.
Yeah, probably did, but this is, what the heck?
I didn't think I went on the board till 1972 or something like that.
Let's see, was I born
Probably
I was
not.
born, but I
Yeah,
wasn't
it was.
here.
in 62?
All right, do we have anything else? That's 10 years old. Been here over tonight, 40 years.
I don't think so.
CPA expense.
Did you want these things back, or are these,
If you don't want them, I'll take them back.
okay.
Because I'll probably get them later on anyway.
Yeah, no, you'll,
I just wanted to show you guys, you know,
No, that's
before
good.
and after.
yeah, that's good. I like it. I like it. I think anything we can do
Peter
is
Gorshell.
expedite the process.
Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Good
Second.
at motions.
Okay, motion made and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.